Okay, so today's video is really an ode to my parents, and that's because we're going to take a look at a clip from their favorite show, and probably one of yours. It's an oldie. It's from the show Everybody Loves Raymond.
Why did you do this, Allie? This is terrible.
Oh, great!
This is Michael's giraffe. He's crying now. Why did you do this?
Cause.
Cause is not an answer.
Active listening.
Couldn't have said it better myself, Raymond. Thank you. This typical parental move, right, which is basically an inquisition full of blame and shaming, typically backfires with kids, whether they're young or old, and frankly, whether with adults, whether they're young or old.
Ray, that doesn't work.
It works. I just use it on the worst kids in the neighborhood.
Would you look at this? Look what she
Just
did.
try it. Try it.
No, Ray.
I'll do it. You want me to do it? I'll do it.
No. Do it. Okay. Allie, let's talk about what you did.
I don't want to talk.
Are you feeling angry?
Reflect back.
You're angry.
Yes.
Okay. But it's not okay to rip up toys when we're angry.
Judgmental.
Okay, so let me pause there. This is really funny to me, and obviously to the studio audience, but it's funny to me because for those of you who have gotten coaching, this is a little bit what coaching can look like. Okay, maybe with a little less judgment from Raymond here, but coaching around difficult conversations, around listening, around negotiation, takes a lot of trial and error with some interruption and some good practice. And so kudos, Raymond, for doing this with your spouse.
You are angry because...
Because it used to be your toy.
Oh,
Yes.
Okay, so let me offer a little bit of coaching here, right? I'm loving what Raymond is doing, but we want to take this kind of A and move it to an A+. And so instead of filling in the blank, which is what Raymond does, an even better move would be to say, tell me more about why you're angry. So the challenge when you fill in the blank for the person is that you might be right and you might be wrong. It's much better to turn that into an open-ended question. Tell me more about why you're angry. Actually, while we're coaching, let me give you a little bit more. Instead of saying you're feeling angry, say, it sounds like you're feeling angry. I wonder if that's right, and I wonder what else are you feeling? Because often when someone is feeling angry, that's the loud feeling, but there are also other feelings in play, like they might feel confused or lost or sad. And by using open-ended questions, we can get even more from the other person, especially with a young kid.
I don't like Michael and Jeffrey.
I see. You think that Mommy and Daddy pay too much attention to Michael and Jeffrey.
Ray, okay, I was handling this.
They get everything.
Right, and you're upset because we gave them your old giraffe.
I still liked it.
But you weren't playing with it.
But that doesn't matter, though, because it was still yours. And you're mad because we gave it to Michael without asking you, right?
Right.
Well, Mommy and Daddy made a mistake. And everybody makes mistakes, right, Mommy?
Yes.
So here's another really great parenting move. And it's something that I talk about a lot when I talk about difficult conversations. And that's the ability to own your own contribution. So here, right, it is really clear that their daughter has done something she shouldn't have done. But it is also clear that the reason why we are in this moment with the beheaded giraffe is because Mommy and Daddy did something that maybe they shouldn't have done. And so owning that contribution doesn't take away from the contribution of the other person, but actually makes it safer and easier for somebody to admit their own contribution. Moreover, once you own your contribution, once you make that step of vulnerability, it makes it harder for the person to use that against you. Because if they keep saying it over and over, you can just say, yes, I've already admitted that. I've already agreed to that. What else can we talk about?
You feel better now, Allie?
Yes, can I have the giraffe?
Well, it's broken, honey.
I know, I want to try to fix it for Michael.
Uh-huh. You're sweet.
Thank you, Daddy.
Let me just pause there one more time, because this is a scene that demonstrates in, okay, a pretty schmaltzy way, but it demonstrates one of the beautiful values of active listening. Because when you listen actively, you learn new things. And sometimes those new things are incredibly surprising. And here what we learn is that this little girl's motivation was not out of selfishness, but actually out of a desire to help. And it's heartwarming and it's touching. But as a mediator, I can tell you so many times when a good active listening move revealed something that helped put the puzzle together, that changed the situation, that built empathy, and that built connection.
See what I did there?
Yeah. Can't believe it. It's pretty amazing. You did it.
Anything else need taken care of while I'm around here?
No.
What? What's the matter?
Nothing with you, obviously.
Don't go by me. I'm a natural. Don't worry, you'll get it.
Oh, look.
What?
Act so proud of yourself. Listen, if I hadn't dragged you to that stupid class, you'd still be standing there going, hey, no TV.
You're feeling inadequate because I mastered it before you.
Oh, don't give me that active listening crap. Where do you get off listening to me?
Never happened again.
Ha. Well, let's hope that's not true. Let's hoping it will happen again. But you know, I want to make another observation about this clip from this show here. It's a little bit meta, but I think it's worth making. Because one of the things I observed is the times when the studio audience is laughing. And the studio audience seems to laugh every single time Raymond's wife poo-poos the idea of active listening or makes fun of the idea of active listening. And obviously this is just a sitcom, but I think it says something. I know it says something that has been very true in my experience when I'm teaching about active listening. And that is that more than any other skill that I have taught in negotiation, the one that I get the most resistance to is listening. People say things like, oh, well, if I active listen, that will make me weak. Or, oh, but if I active listen, that feels condescending. Or, oh, this stuff doesn't work. Or, oh, this is a waste of time. And it really relates to some strange resistance we have to entering into that place of curiosity, to acknowledging the story of the other, to reflecting emotions back. But my own experience has suggested that when you do those things, it is quite effective. But how do we account for the resistance? There's a lot of research on adult learning, and particularly adult learning where the behaviors that one is being asked to do are ones that feel unconventional and unnatural and awkward. And I think active listening falls into that. And so at first, when we're getting exposed to these skills, we actively resist. And then if we keep at it, if we're like, okay, I know this is hard, but I need to keep practicing, the next stage is a sense of awkwardness. So we have a sense that maybe we should acknowledge emotion. We have a sense that maybe we should paraphrase. We have a sense that maybe we should have an open-ended question, but we don't know when to deploy each of these skills. So someone says something like, it's a really nice day today. And we active listen by saying, so it sounds like it's a really nice day. Well, that's a nice paraphrase move, but it's not at the right moment. It's awkward. You don't paraphrase a one line. You paraphrase when someone goes on and on and on and on. right? Or maybe we think we're doing open-ended questions, but that's all we're doing. And I see this happen a lot, right? It's like no longer active listening and now feels like an interrogation. But if you stick with it, right, over time, the set of active listening skills start to assimilate into our behavioral repertoire. So we start to know, when do we deploy each of these skills? And then if you really keep at it, you start to find your own language for doing the active listening, for doing the inquiry or the acknowledgement or for the paraphrasing. And this last step is what we call integration. And so as easy it is to look at this clip and kind of laugh as we make fun of active listening, I want to suggest to you that if you want to improve in this skill set, stick with it, keep practicing, get feedback, and wait until it actually integrates as a natural part of your negotiation and difficult conversations repertoire. Okay, so we are going to move from an old sitcom to one of the most popular and super cool musicals of the decade. Keep watching for this next video on Hamilton. Also, I'd be incredibly grateful if you would subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Make sure you like this video, and if you have some ideas for clips that I should analyze, please drop them into the comments. Lastly, make sure you ring the bell so that you never miss another video from me. Okay, you want to know why you need to be in the room? Keep watching this Hamilton clip.